Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Welcome in. We are painting minis today. Talk lots of fun stuff. Hope you guys had a good weekend, and anybody celebrating Labor Day had a good Labor Day. Let's just go ahead and jump in. I'm just going to paint something I have primed, and what I have primed are 10 of these tactical marines. So I'm just going to jump right in. I did 5 of these. Was that last week I finished them up? So we're going to see how fast we can finish 10 of them now that we have the color scheme done. Not nearly as productive of a weekend as you'd hope. That's too bad. I had a mildly productive weekend, but also had family in town this past week, so was spent a lot of time with family. Wasn't a ton of time to do productive things. Yeah, how you doing, Fox? Welcome in. I just kind of disconnected for the weekend. Just tried to spend my time with family and everything, so it was good. I did have time to play a little bit of a 30k, so I got myself a game in, and it was a lot of fun. Played against Mechanicum. It's my second time playing against Mechanicum. So out of the, I want to say 6 games I've played this edition, half of them have been against non-marine armies. If I have that right. Which is pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome. Nice to see their armies getting in there. I feel like that ratio isn't even like, or that's a maybe a reasonable ratio to be in for a game of 40k too, so so 10 of these minis. Figure out where my colors are. We got, let's go, okay, just the backpack. Just the power pack. Socialized out for the time being. Yeah. Nice. Okay. All right. Got some stuff going on. I understand, dude, about being socialed out. I spent pretty much all Friday and Saturday with family, and then just around a bunch of people, and then Sunday I played a game of Warhammer with somebody and met someone up at a store, and then I got home and I was so wiped out. I was just done. I was just done talking. Couldn't do it. So, fortunately we had Monday to kind of rest and recover. New storage is always nice. At the beginning of this year, I actually rearranged my my whole game room. Not my game room, but like my paint and my like workspace and studio / computer room and all that. So big part of that was getting specific IKEA shelves. Got that shelving, and man, it's been really nice just having everything a lot more organized. Hey, Night Trap, what's up? You got some of the Metal Noise Marines? That's cool. Very cool. We need to get the little skull. A little bit more to go. Drop my brush. Alright, let's not do that. What all did you order? You just get like everything they had, or was there specific things that you wanted? Okay, finished mini. Actually, it's the same arms. Good. I think we're set on this one. So we have our gold on this guy. Let's get the next one. So I have a goal this month, and it's kind of a two-part goal. The first part of it is 3 basic noise marine troops. Okay, cool, very cool. That'll be fun to put on the table, though. Like that's really cool if you're planning on actually playing as Emperor's Children. But you know, if not, just cool like nostalgic display pieces, right? But part 1 of my goal is to stream every weekday this month, starting today. You know, I didn't do yesterday, but you know, it's holiday yesterday, so stream every weekday. That's part 1 of the goal. Part 2 is to finish my Saturnine box, and or clear out the backlog that I have for my army. So the streaming every weekday, that one's pretty cut and dry, and you know, hopefully we don't have outside forces messing with that. But I'm hoping to do that. I just want some, you know, a few hours a day, paint, hang out, say hi to everybody, you know, that whole thing. The part 2, painting my set, clearing my backlog, that one's a little bit more of a weird goal because I have minis that I got, it's from like the intro set, so from Saturnine, that I haven't put together yet, and I'm not going to assemble or paint until I get some more rules from the next Heresy Journal. And I don't know if that's going to be released this month or not. I'm hoping it is, but I don't know. So if it's not, then those minis just kind of sit. And I don't do anything with them. But otherwise, I have a lot of other minis to paint, so doing what we can. But it'd be nice. It'd be nice to get everything painted. It's a good excuse to paint everything. We're gonna stream a lot of it. How much nostalgia since I wasn't alive then? Yeah. Yeah, the unique look, kind of the goofy over the top look, right? With the Chaos models. That's great. I was getting to 40k right as those models were being replaced. Those like really old Noise Marines. And they replaced them with other Noise Marines that were, I don't know, I guess they were technically better looking. Just starting to get out of the super goofy era of 40k when I was jumping in. Back in, I don't know, 2003, 2004. I think it was about 2004. Go able to get everything from my girlfriend's Canoptic Court. Necrons primed. Oh, cool. All right. Or Sewer Top fits Slaanesh. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, they're just like, they're just wild looking. Yeah. Yeah, the super gritty era was starting. Yep, right when I was getting into it. I got in on the end of 3rd edition, and I think 4th edition was when it like really ramped up, went against the goofiness, and it started getting really serious. But I also remember I have the 3rd edition and the 4th edition Space Marine Codex. In that codex, it's night and day, the differences between those codexes, with like the grit and the seriousness. And when, you know, Ultramarines were painted with yellow trim in 3rd edition, and they had the gold trim in 4th edition. You know, Tyranids got their big line update when they went from like goofy humanoid creatures to like the bug dinosaurs that we see today. Yeah, a lot of stuff like that. Start the project, finish project. Yeah, sure. I'll do. Whoops, sorry, clicked something. Okay, here, let's take a look. Oh yeah, going for the turquoise and everything. Nice. EO, what's going on, man? Where am I looking? Is it in whips? The you got your Tyranid start. I love it. Man, I'm excited to see how these are gonna look. They look really good already. Man, Tyranids work really well with dry brushes. Nice, man. The command squad's looking great too, EO. You're doing an awesome job on it. Currently 40k is a nice midpoint, at least for me. It's not too gritty, not too silly. Yeah, that's fair. I'd say the miniatures have definitely gone more toward the... I don't think cartoony is the best word, but like heroic comic book style miniatures for 40k. Where they're over the top and ridiculous, but not like they kind of skip the grimdark on a lot of the miniatures. That's an airbrush Or, sorry, dry brush wash and some stippling. Okay, oh, solid. Yeah, it looks really good so far. Working on the bases. Love it, dude. Love it. I think my favorite era of like Games Workshop design, like miniature design, is that like Forge World mid 2000s, late 2000s, like pre 2010, excuse me, design. That's probably my preferred style. Like Forge World they did a lot of like the paint jobs were great. The lore they'd create for the factions they would make was great. The vehicle designs were great. Yeah. Epic Heroes versus Haggard Frontline. Yeah. Yeah, it's like everything's like super exaggerated, right? What's up, Avelios? How you doing, man? Play 2nd edition Noise Marines. I need to find a Doom Siren template. I didn't know it had its own unique template, but I bet you can find something out there for it. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Nothing too exciting going on today. I did get a shipment in. Movie vibe of partially taking itself seriously while being flashy and also some silliness. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I feel like they've leaned into the it's a game aspect of 40K. Between the rules and like the lore and the miniatures anymore. And not so much like this is cool and also a game kind of vibe that they put out for a long time. So I understand that like it was always just made for the game, right? Like all the lore and everything, but I seem a lot more overt about it. Personal favorite 2nd edition. Okay, yeah. The upbeat, positive vibes of 2nd edition. Yeah, no super well, if you want super complex rules, go into 30K. It's been cool. I've been glad. I'm glad I've been playing as much as I have with the new rules, because every game I'm learning something like major. And oh, we're not doing a giveaway. No, ignore that, guys. I'm going to. I'll delete that command here in a second. My bad. I am not on my game. I am not. But yeah, yeah, I've been finding like really like deep cut rules that I would not have thought were rules, and we're figuring things out. So, what's up, Flotsam? How you doing? Finish this guy and I'll jump into Nightbot's brain and correct this. I get some for the gold. 30% are tied to locked in combat. Yeah, well, we were looking up the pinned and panic universal special rule, and let's see, is that saved? Yeah. And what we found out, so there's like the 4 statuses, right? Like there's the the 4 weapon rules that inflict statuses, and there's suppressed, stun, pinned, and panic. And the general rule of thumb is if it starts with an S, you just need to hit. If it starts with a P, you have to wound. In previous editions of the game with the pinned status, so it'd be pinned and panic would apply under this, you would need to, like, causing a wound would mean an unsaved wound. So the other two you just have to hit, which is great. You know, it's easy to dump panic or suppressed or stun tokens on people. But the other ones you have to inflict a wound. And, you know, my thought was someone fails a save, they take a wound like previous editions. That's not what it means. Inflicting a wound is just passing the wound test. And it's very specific where it says you inflict a wound, but you don't need to do any damage. So it's real easy to put status tokens on people, a lot easier than I even thought. So, like, you know, we talk about like flamers and how it's harder to inflict a wound and harder to put a panic status, but it's actually not very hard, especially since flamers automatically hit. Like, get 1 wound roll to be a success, and you put that panic token on them. So status are really easy to get. So that was my big rule that I learned in my game on Sunday. Yes, basilisks. So your artillery is way better because a lot of them have pinned. So all you have to do is wound, and with a strength 10 weapon, there's a good chance you're going to wound whatever you're shooting at. So yes, that's all you gotta do. It doesn't have to be unsaved. Just has to cause it. Has to force the armor, invuln, or cover save, or feel no pain or shroud, or whatever it is that they're using to try to save it. So, fun times. It's a big rule. My game I played last week, I can't remember the big rule that I learned. I'm sure it'll come up again. But then, yeah, we had the whole locked in combat thing too. So. $7.5. Not anymore. Second edition 30K was a lot like 7.5. This third edition 30K, like the new edition, it's a departure from that. So it has a lot of like unique, like new rules and like styles to it that haven't been in a GW game before. I will say on the surface, there is a lot of that 7th edition vibe to it. If you have reserves, you must. Does that count for aerial reserves too? Because I know those are different rules or different. Yeah, different things. Yeah, there's. I think if you played third edition 40k and you played seventh edition 40k, you would see a. I think you would have a very similar vibe. And there are definite rule changes, but it feels like an edition change. Yeah. You didn't like 6th and 7th. Is that when you started in the game, or did you play like 5th edition and stuff? Hey, Greenleaf, what's up, man? Start at the end of 5th, yeah. 5th was good. 5th was the edition of 40k I played the most. I remember 6th was terrible, so, nobody in their right mind should like 6th edition 40k, and there's a reason they swapped it out in like a year and a half for 7th. I think my understanding from what I played, I didn't play a lot of 7th, but I think 7th edition was a good edition and overall well received. The problem with 7th edition was the power creep in the codexes. Like every codex was just everywhere beyond reasonable with the level of power it had compared to the last one. And so they kept coming out and like everything was just more ridiculous, and yeah, I think everything just got ahead of itself. So I don't know if playing 7th edition with 6th and 5th edition codexes are a thing. Like I don't know if that's a that's the thing people do. I know people do that with Warhammer Fantasy, and I think it is actually 7th edition Fantasy with 6th edition codexes or army books was the way to go. But yeah, it's the same way of Elios. Yeah, I played 6th edition like once or twice, and I was like, wow, this is bad. I'm curious what it is you didn't like about 7th edition, Tuvon. Was it like specific rules interactions, or was it just like the armies, or what? Because I do think, at least with like 2nd edition Heresy, they made it like a 7.5, but in my opinion, it played a lot better than 7th edition 40k. I think it had its biggest issue was probably being written during like COVID, and things were rushed, and certain things, especially with the armies, felt like a rough draft. With how they wrote out the armies, and we laugh at that, how that is like so typical for GW, but a lot of that stuff was fairly egregious. But when it comes to 3rd edition, though, 3rd edition has, in my opinion, aside from some certain drama around it, been a lot smoother. I think the biggest issue with some of the rules that I have is that they're a departure from what I'm used to with Games Workshop. And reading that in the rule book, I make assumptions, and then I read the rule and it's not what I had thought it was, and it makes it like kind of confusing. So conditions, yeah. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, those things are not in Heresy, yeah. Ariel doesn't modify anything, so no choice. Okay. Yeah, the 7th edition detachments were awful. Yeah. I don't see any lists that people are like freaking out about being broken in Heresy yet. Although Heresy players don't typically play that way, so I don't think people look for it quite as hard. But it still comes around when things are problematic. Like as soon as 2nd edition dropped, it was like dreadnoughts, like contemptors are a problem, and so it's very quickly house ruled everywhere to limit the amount of dreadnoughts someone brings. And there's no Tau in 30k, so. There's also no invisible psychic powers. Psychic powers are they're really good. They are not. I don't think any psychic power is busted. The closest one to busted is a Thousand Suns one that gives your units auto wounds on hits of 5, and you can combo that with some certain things to make it pretty nasty. But even then, you still have your chance to perils and do those kind of things. And I brought that power once on a unit that mattered, and it did quite a bit. Kind of like lethal on 5s, yeah. It's the rending rule. Rending was changed to auto wound on 5s, and yeah, and when you rend, your wound roll counts as a 6. And so then there's a rule called breaching, and breaching is if you roll that number. So breaching 6 up is if you roll a 6. All your wound rolls are the wound rolls that you roll for that one are AP2, so it ignores enemy armor. And so the combo is you find weapons that are breaching, like breaching 6+, and then you use that power and you make them rending. So then when they hit on 5s, you're auto wounding, and it's on AP2. So you do things like auto cannons are really good in the game, and they do 2 damage, and they put out 3 shots each, and they're long range, and they're high strength, and like I think odds are invulns are allowed. Yeah. There's nothing in the game that ignores invulns as far as I'm aware. But yeah, you combo things and you can potentially, destroy a unit of Terminators with a volley or something. One interesting thing about 3rd edition Heresy is there are 0 rerolls in the game. There's no mechanic, there's no army, there's no rule, there's no ability, there's nothing that gives rerolls. There are absolutely 0 rerolls in the game. And it's weird, but it's also fun. So fun. Let's just see tabled early. Yeah, too fun. Yeah, people don't play like that in Heresy. At least not many people that I've seen. I saw one guy play like that somewhat recently, but that was also in 2nd. I don't know what happened to him. I just kind of ignore him. It does make games faster, yeah, because Heresy definitely had a problem with all the rerolls. Rules giving rerolls, and everybody getting rerolls against everything. The game is both more and less lethal because of that. So it's more lethal because there were a lot of units that had rerolls on their saves, and it was fairly easy to get. But it's less lethal because there's no more like twin-linked weapons giving you rerolls to hit. There's no more rerolls to wound. There's none of that. So yeah, Shred used to give you rerolls to wound. Twin Linked would give you rerolls to hit. Yeah, Shred is still a rule. Shred is now on a 6 to wound. Your weapon does an extra damage, which I will say every chainsword has. Like chain weapons have Shred, and it seems like such a worthless rule in a chainsword because they're still getting armor saves and everything. It actually came in handy for me on my game on Sunday. I had Assault Marines charge something. They had Shred. I rolled 6s to wound. And I killed something with it. I think it was like an Ursarax or something. because they have 2 wounds. So, yeah, no Mastercraft rerolls, no chaplains giving rerolls to squads, because chaplains would always give rerolls to hit on your first round of combat. All of that, yeah, no rerolls whatsoever. Yeah, no rerolls on armor saves. Terminators, a lot of Terminators used to get rerolls on their failed armor saves against like blast weapons and stuff, or like any template weapon, and that doesn't exist anymore. Feel no pain is still a rule, which is like, your extra save after your save, but it's very rare. Feel no pain is a very rare rule in 3rd edition. It used to be really easy to get with medics and stuff, but medics do something different now. You don't get feel no pain, and they're not quite as effective anymore. I'll try them out eventually just to see, but I'm gonna try all my different stuff. Every unit you're trying to find ways to reroll. Yeah, and that's, when you put rerolls in the game, like, rerolls are good. Any way you can manipulate your dice is always really powerful, and the fact that the rules designers were able to restrain themselves from putting any rerolls in the game is crazy. Now, the rulebook talks about rerolls, which is interesting. So it's not like they can't put rerolls in the game, but yeah. And 5th edition Dark Eldar with the pain tokens, that 5th edition book was so much fun. Because you had to kill units to get the pain tokens on specific squads. So the more squads your unit killed, like the stronger they got. And I'll also say, if you play Genestealer Cults, Imperial Guard, Votann, probably Tau, you can probably find Tau, make a way for Tau to work. Any Necromunda faction, all of that stuff you can play in Heresy, and they have rules for it. And all that stuff goes into the Imperialis Militia PDF, which is a free PDF. That GW released on, it was last Thursday. And there is such a wild amount of customization in that. Like, I have never seen in GW, like, the amount they did with that book. It's crazy. Oh yeah, template weapons, getting into the open top transports, yeah. Yeah, you can do some crazy stuff with the militia army. So they basically integrated the entire Necromunda line into the army. So all the vehicles, all the quads and trikes and squat stuff, and the different factions, you can make it happen. But you can also put in basically like Warhammer Fantasy armies into there too, with their lots of rules about what units get what. So it's crazy. It's crazy amount of customization in that army. Okay, that's 6 down. 4 more for this gold. We'll move on to the next color. I did try Solar Auxilia as an ally my last game. And Avelios, I'm going to tell you something. The Heavy Sentinel, the Aethan Heavy Sentinel, with a multi-laser and the Aethan missiles, it's like the basic 60-point Heavy Sentinel, is so good. Into anyone that's not Mechanicum. But it's so good. Attachment where you can take Noise Marines as battle line. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Night Trap. Is there a 40k Emperor's Children attachment you could take Noise Marines as battle line? That would be cool. I don't know. I feel like they may have put a nail in that coffin when they release the new like battle line infantry for Emperor's Children. Oh hey Blue, what's going on? Are you back in the real world now? You don't think there is? Oh, that's too bad. That's fair. Well, hey, one way to answer Terminator is to just make them fail leadership checks. Because that Sentinel puts out, it's suppressed and stun. It's stun 1, so it's -1 on their leadership when they take the tests. So yeah, just putting out 2 status tokens per Sentinel is just hilarious. They'll be +1 to their cool, yeah. So it's at their natural, but still, you know, they're testing at cool 7 or cool 8. Like that's you're pushing 50-50 on that. Like you have about the same odds of getting that through as you do on like wounding or killing a Terminator, right? I mean, autocannons are good though, so I get it. I just think it's like a funny utility piece that just seems really strong. Post-con blues, yeah. Oh, cool. All right. So you're got a lot out of the thing. That's good. Did you buy a bunch of stuff? Lords from Middle Earth, 40k floor. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, man, we'll see what the next year holds. Only 2. Okay, she drained the coffers. Oh, dang. All right. What minis did you get? Points to shift from Basilisk to Medusa. Yeah, the breaching 5 and the pinning 2. You just do the siege cohort and then you just get pinning 3, and then no one's moving anywhere. Third party stuff. Oh, cool. All right. And you're gonna stream again on Friday, right? Next stream is Friday. Cool. You just need 9 more. I'm surprised you don't have 9 already. Yeah, tell us about it, dude. The Patreon hangout. That, we got all that. Okay. It's done. Let's get the next one. 3 more for this gold. Kind of have a like a soft goal this month to do something, some kind of hobby thing every day. So 2 for 2 so far. I did some hobbying yesterday. Painting, son was painting with me down here. And I was making some sergeant minis for tactical squads. Some more, I guess, WYSIWYG sergeant models. A little bit extra flair on them. I can paint so they can stick out and look really cool. I'll have to show them to you guys. To practice with their new... Oh, dang. Okay. You guys have like an epic training montage you gotta get through. That's okay. If you want, you can do that. It doesn't bother me. You know, there's always a chance I'll go, but not in the cards this year. Not when you have to emergency spend $5,000 on home repairs. Kind of kills the budget for for other things. Your plane tickets into my savings? Into wait, you're gonna budget? Okay, I don't know, if people are buying me plane tickets, I mean, who am I to decline that? Net year this whole year. Well, you know, we have money we spend on home repairs as it goes, but this was like stuff on top of things, you know, such as a tornado hitting our house kind of caused some expensive repairs and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you know, we're fortunate that we had, you know, savings for that kind of thing. We had the money, but all right, Tuvon, you enjoy your day of adulting. Thanks for coming to hang out, though. Thanks for chatting. I appreciate it. Appreciate the company. So I mentioned my goals earlier, but my monthly goals. The I guess easiest to track monthly goals. I'm going to try to stream every weekday this month. I know, Blue. Yeah, we try. My wife and I have always been like really good budgeters, and we try to like live below our means, and you know, we try to do that. And sometimes, you know, sometimes go a little overboard, but then sometimes you got things that happen. So I already need to be saving. Going on a cruise for a week playing board games. Wait, a cruise playing board games? It's a board game cruise? You're kidding me. That doesn't exist. There's no way that's a real thing. But yeah, I'm going to try to stream every weekday this month. Stream painting. I don't know. Maybe play an occasional video game. We'll see. But that leans into my my secondary goal here, which is I want to clear my backlog as much as I can. So that one is a little harder to kind of track, but it basically involves my Saturnine box that I have. I want to be able to paint everything from there. Some of it isn't assembled and won't be assembled until the next book comes out, and who knows when that next book is going to come out. So I might not be able to assemble everything and paint everything before that, but try to get everything I have, everything I can. All games on board. Whoa, that's wild. That sounds like fun. It's in Dutch. Yeah, I saw the .nl and I was thinking I'm not going to be able to read that. But that is really cool though. Sounds like a lot of fun. Is it like a bring your own board games, or is it like, do they have specific things, or like is it like a tournament for games, or what? You just go down to like a gaming hall and there's just tables set up for stuff, but should work. Yeah, that's too bad. Next year, man, you have to let us know what it's like, because that sounds interesting. yeah, cruise, yeah. Plus games. Wow, okay. Dang, that's crazy. Likely a tournament too. Gotta do silver next on these. Publisher sponsor games. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see. His collar and his belt and his bolter. I think silver is our next color to do, though. It's a fun story. I made ribs for dinner on Friday. They were amazing. Best batch I've made so far. And I made a lot. I had family came over for dinner, so I did that. And the final step of ribs, when you make ribs, you grill them with barbecue sauce on them. And I made my own barbecue sauce from scratch and put them on these ribs. And I was pulling them off the grill, put on a plate to bring in, and a drop of barbecue sauce dripped on my thumb, right on the side of my thumb. And it was like molten, and it burned my thumb immediately. And I couldn't do anything. I didn't have a place to put the plate for a moment, so I had to stand there and try to find a place to set the plate down. I didn't got the barbecue sauce off me, and it burned my thumb pretty bad. So I'm sitting here with a Band-Aid on my thumb because it's all blistered. Yeah, napalm of the grill gods. Yeah, I napalmed myself. I did lick the barbecue sauce off my thumb, so it was good. Tasted good. I literally barbecued my own finger. But I know the ribs were good. Good dinner. And now I'm in a phase where I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying to lose a few pounds. I gained back some of my weight when I did really serious diet last year, so I'm going to take a month or two. Just try to get back into my place I need to be, and then doing good. But I started that today, so I'm probably going to be grumpy and hungry, at least for the next few days, while I try to figure this out. Hey, Misfit, what's going on? Thank you so much for the sub, man. Full year, dude, that's crazy. Feeling in their right hand? Because oh, wow, okay. Ooh. Yeah, it's wild blue, that's crazy. I have accidentally grabbed my grill, the grill lid, not the handle, while it was on. Because I was an idiot, was not looking where I was grabbing. I just straight up grabbed the lid. Fortunately, I got my hand away really quick. It didn't burn me, but yeah, dude, a whole year. It's crazy. Yeah. What's the Futurama line from Hermes? It smells like back bacon, and his wife's like, no, Hermes, that's your back bacon. Because he's getting sunburnt. Yeah, it's a good. That's a scene that lives rent free in my head for some reason. Just that phrase. So the painting son and I, we hung out and we painted minis yesterday. I was actually assembling minis, but he was working on his salamanders that he's painting. And I think officially got to a point with miniature painting that I'd always wanted to get to with him. You know, and before, like, any of you have like a young kid and you try to paint minis with them or you paint with them, it's, you know, it's you doing all the little things for them and watching them and making sure they're doing okay and all these things, and constant like questions and, you know, more of this and more of that and all that. Like, that's just kind of how it is. We hung out here yesterday and we painted, and he asked me for a color. I put down some color, and then he just painted and we just chatted, and that's what we did for like a good hour yesterday, and it was great. Like, man, it was just like, you know, anybody do that? Like, we just chill with your friends, you just hang out and paint, you know, and you're all just kind of doing your thing, and then you're just, you know, talking about whatever, or, you know, listen to music or whatever. Yeah, it was great. It's a great time painting with the boy. Rats have their own like guild. Yeah, yeah, and their like ranking system and stuff. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's a place where you hang out and paint your minis. That's cool. Document box. My friend gave this to me to finish today. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, that is it for the gold on these minis. I will show you guys real quick. Let me grab them. Yeah, I'll show you guys some of the minis I've been assembling. I might take a quick break then and then come back and keep painting. But as far as minis assembled here, I do have a bunch of what are they, Vox guys? Nuncio Vox minis. So I got radio operators. And I have four of them assembled. They'll be kind of the next thing that get dealt with. I have a Centurion here. This was a Centurion I assembled on stream, and I put some green stuff in his to fill in his cloak and some of the gaps here. But this is one of the Centurions that I have. So he'll be painted soon. I have 3 Sergeant minis. So this is one, and I didn't do anything with him except I gave him this tabard piece, and I actually had to cut away some of, like, I guess basically like the crotch piece on the mini, and then I was able to glue this in. So he's got like a little hanging tabard with the Thousand Suns symbol on there, and then I gave him some extra little scrolls, but they came in the plastic set. So we have that. So he's a little different. He'll get some different color shoulder pads. I have this guy who is casting magic here. So he has some kind of spell coming out of his hands. He's got a bolter. I did another one of these tabard things. It stuck out a lot, so I used some green stuff. And it looks a little rough. I hope when I paint it, it looks a little better. But I need to, I think, trim it down a little bit. But I kind of formed the belt around this tabard piece. But we have this guy will be a sergeant, because the sergeants for my tactical marines are just going to be bolter guys, but then someone in the squad can use like a magic weapon or like a psychic weapon that they have. So I figured, like, this is the dude to do it. So we'll give him that. So he'll look a little different. And the last one is a little extra, but he's cool. I didn't a spare Mark 6 body, and he has this crazy magic that he's like slinging around. So it's this crazy. I found some really cool STLs for like spells and everything. So he's like throwing this, and then I gave him a Khopesh, and he has a bolter on a holster here, so he still has his bolter. But he's Mark 6 dude. I gave him some of these. These are from the Command Squad set. These shoulder pads. So he's got some trim on his shoulders. I think this might also be from the, maybe just a sergeant helmet. But he gave him a cool crest and everything. And he's got a tabard there, like a rubric tabard, basically. But, yeah, it's cool, something different. So, he's kind of throwing an army and everything, yeah. So, I'm pretty excited about this guy. Yeah, lots of unique stuff. I want another one of these rapier crews. These bolters on the holsters come with the rapier set. They're so good. They fit right on the belt, and they look really cool. So, yeah, just a couple veteran sergeants. Like this, this dude's basic, but I wanted to give him the tabard, which are really hard to put on the Mark IIs. But they have different color shoulder pads, or a shoulder pad, maybe both. I think just one. We'll just do one. But yeah, I want them to stand out a little bit, so I'm trying to put like extra little things on them to make them more, wizardly. But yeah, I ended up snapping off the arms off of these breachers because I have better arms for them that I'm gonna print and put on them. So they're all armless, and I need to reassemble them. And I do have a tarantula here. Where's this? I magnetized a tarantula. I can find which one is magnetized. Let's see. Yeah, it's you. Goes this way. Yeah. So it has the weapons here. Here it is. I was able to get this thing magnetized. So, yeah, the tabards are frustrating. Yeah, especially when they're not like made for these models. And the easiest thing probably would have just been to buy a box of rubrics, right? And then use that armor and kind of change up that armor and everything, because then they have like a lot of the cool things to make them sergeants and stuff. But I want to keep it with marks of armor that they all have, and tone down a little bit. The rubrics, I will eventually get a box of rubrics, and I'm going to make veterans out of them somehow. Like I'm going to use all the bits and everything. Yeah, there's a lot more money and everything too. But money, what's that? All right, guys, I'll be back in just a couple minutes, and we're going to start on the next color on these minis. So hang tight. Be back in a few. Alright, I'm back. Hey, cultured American. You have a question. Want to start playing the Old World in Beastman? Do you need a Raving Hordes book or just the Beastman book? Okay, so the answer is Ravening Hordes is the book you need. The Beastman book is the extras. So the Beastman Arcane Journal is not, it's not like an army book. It is only Beastman, but it's like, here's some extra ways to run the army, and here's some extra magic items, and maybe an extra unit or two. The Ravening Hordes book has your entire army list that you need to actually play the army.
Look at me!
Do you need some Beastman minis? Yeah, let's check out the whips. Where is it? Oh, he's got the Judiciar. Nice. Where did you get this mini? Did you get this from the Target set? Blue, or have you had this? Where did you get it? Message me, Cultured American, because I have a lot of Beastman miniatures that I am looking to get rid of. It's from Forge World East. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a solid looking sculpt. Can't really tell. Yeah, no one will know. Very nice. Okay, we have our mini here. I need the bolter. We got the legs, the little buckles, backpack, back, that piece, the canister, the front, the ears on the armor, the little hose attachments there. Okay. Let's go. With lighting in this one color theory class. Was like actual Marco Frazzoni there? Did he yell at you the whole time? He seems like a very loud person. That's cool though.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint. I believe it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart.
Hey, Chris Frozen, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody. How are you guys doing? Welcome. How's your stream, Chris? Guys, go follow Chris Frozen. Show him some love. Check out their stream and YouTube channel, right? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I have seen some YouTube videos of yours on various subjects. Utah's a really lovely person, yeah. After class about being colorblind. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. That's awesome, Blue. We are just putting base colors down on some Thousand Suns, and I've decided I'm going to stream every weekday this month, and I'm going to be painting mainly my Saturnine box set, but we'll paint some other stuff. I paint some Votann characters and stuff. Get those going. My big goal, I want to finish some of these projects here every weekday. That's right, every weekday. Spread that out a bit. And since I had these 10 tacticals primed and base coated, they're the first ones to to get the treatment. I have that Arachne quad accelerator autocannon turret next. Should be fun, and we'll get some characters and some other special stuff. Yeah, it's my September goal. Every weekday I'm gonna stream. But try to do 11 to 2. I think 11 to 2 is reasonable for me. I'm not like gonna destroy myself every day. I have time to get some things done in the morning if I need to, so. Blue, did you get you got the Dreadnought, right? You got the mini in the mail? Was everything good? Did everything turn out okay? Worried. The instruction book saved. Yeah, okay, good. No broken pieces or anything. I'd never shipped in a she has a slime making empire. Oh no, gosh. That's really funny. Yeah, I was worried about the not worried, but interested to see how the bubble packaging would work out. I've had stuff shipped to me in that packaging before, but I've never used it to ship anybody any minis, so. Yeah, it's big. It is big, you're right. I got something in the mail today. I'll have to show you guys here in a minute. Let me finish the color on this guy. I feel like sprues in a bubble mailer, especially since that Dreadnought doesn't have any like big pieces on it. It's just 200 little pieces that you're putting together on that thing. I think those shoulder plates are the biggest pieces, but even they're not very big. Thing silver. Don't have to worry about being too sloppy over the red. On the bolter, it's the rest of the marine we just have to be careful with. Okay, I think that's it for the silver on this mini. No, it's not. That little piece. And I think that's it for the silver on this miniature. Okay. Here's what I got in the mail. The Saturnine Dreadnought weapons. The Ophion weapons. Which, this is the sprue. So pretty ridiculous looking sprue, but that's 3 weapons on this sprue. 3 big weapons. And they actually gave an instruction booklet for this, which is nice. It's these 2 weapons here. Or 3 weapons, I guess. These chest weapons and then these 2. So, I'm looking forward to painting these and putting them on my Dreadnought because the disintegrators were terrible. I tried them and they were so bad. I was very disappointed. But yeah, so I got that, and yeah, the assembly. Look at these assembly instructions. Oh my lord, it's pretty crazy. Inversion beamer, the graviton pulsar, and the heavy particle shredders. So, what do we got? Yeah, so I played a game with my Saturnine Dread a couple weeks ago. It was last week. Yeah, it was about a week ago. I played it, and the one I have, it has 2 disintegrator cannons, and he blew himself up. And the funny thing about him blowing himself up is it didn't even feel like the roll was particularly bad. It was just, yeah, I roll 6 dice. It's overload 2, which means 1s and 2s to hit my own model. And the Saturnine Dread has a lot of defense against like heat weapons and stuff. So if you have a plasma and you overload it, its chances to wound itself are really low. It doesn't have that against disintegrators. So, I hit myself twice, and I caused a whole bunch of damage to my own model. And then the next turn, my opponent had a model that shot at me, and I decided to return fire to blow his. It was a dreadnought to blow his dreadnought up, and in my return fire, I blew my own model up and blew his dreadnought up. So, but mine was a 370 point dreadnought. And his was like 160 points, so I don't think the trade was worth it. It looks cool, though. Yeah. Rumfenstein, what's going on? How are you doing? Well, hey, the inversion beamer and the graviton pulse are a lot safer weapons, but I have more. Yeah, I can mix and match weapons a lot more now, so it's nice. I like having options. Ordering thought you said to overload its reactor. Yeah. Dreadnought, I want you to die. Well, and my whole thing about it was like, yeah, it's cool. It's, disintegrators, killed it or whatever. But my thought is, my Thousand Sons do enough horribly dangerous things that could melt themselves. If they do something wrong with all their psychic powers, or do something incredibly right, they'll still melt themselves. I don't want weapons that do that, and it feels very lore inaccurate for like my Thousand Sons to be using weapons that are dangerous enough to like blow up in their face. So You know, as much as I liked the Mini and it was fun and I had fun painting it and it'll sit on a display shelf a lot, like, I'll try it with the other weapons when I get them painted, but otherwise it's going to sit on a shelf. Dreadnoughts aren't super good anyway. Mayhem, welcome in. How are you doing? Are you tuckered out from the convention as well from Nova? Watching databases load, yeah, that's fair. I understand. That was me when I had a real job. You know what I would do when I had a real job and I'd be bored and, you know, just want to do mini stuff? I would write army lists and I would plan strategies and come up with wild ideas for, like, my next game. That's what I was doing. It's a scene from Isfan 3 where the Death Guard Dreadnought blows itself up to show defiance. Yeah. There was also, what's his name? The Emperor's Children Dreadnought did that. Why can't I remember his name? Rylanor, that's who it is. Rylanor. Yeah, yeah. In the last edition of Heresy, Dreadnoughts would explode when they died, no matter what. Which was honestly really good. Yes, yeah, that's what Rylanor did. Yep. Even though he was sabotaged, right? Didn't Thousand Sons, like, sabotage him or something? I think that's part of the story. Yeah, I used to just, man, I'd sit at work with nothing to do. And I would just write things out, army lists and everything, and always keep a tab open on new recruit. Yeah, there you go. This was before new recruit was a thing, though. Battle Scribe was still the popular one. It's still popular, but it's pretty worthless now. Your arch nemesis. Plenty to do. My brain just wants to focus on everything. Oh, okay, yeah. Having a ADHD moment. I see. That's me whenever I have to, like, make a phone call, an important phone call. I'm like, I will literally do anything before I do this phone call. My wife will get home and I'm, like, cleaning the bathrooms and she's like, hey, did you call that place yet? No, I'm cleaning the bathrooms. Work 45 minutes, 5-minute break on new recruit, then 45-minute back to work. Yeah, the job I had, I worked for a pharma company that was selling out all their distribution. So I would go to work. There'd be like 10 of us that worked on the shift. And, yeah, between 10 of us, there would be enough work for one person. And it would take that one person about half an hour. And then that was it for the day. That was our 8-hour shift. And so I'd go to work and just sit and, like, be forced to talk to like, old people that I had nothing in common with. because those are all the people I worked with. It was pretty miserable, but also, you know, it was a steady paycheck and had awesome benefits. So it was hard to complain too much. And they even shortened our workday by half an hour and still paid us for it. So, like, they really wanted people to stick around. So, one thing I did do this weekend that I never do is I watched a football game. Because everybody around me is big like football fans. But I watched the Ohio State Texas game. Yeah, sports ball. Yeah, that was my whole attitude the whole time. So yeah, I know Cultured American's a Texas fan. I know he is. Yeah, Blue, I did see those. What what's going on with that color scheme? I'm trying to figure out like what You have no idea. Okay. Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one. It's cool looking, it's just like it's weird. Yeah, see, Culture American cheering for the losers. So much silver paint. White will be quick on these, though. And white and gray. Maybe some touch-ups, but about it. At least they're memorable. Just live in Austin. Can't escape football there, especially. Yeah. Well, I mean, I live in Central Ohio, and so it's Ohio State everywhere. That's all anybody cares about. So. Little vents on this guy. So I get these luminescences from last fall at my paint desk. Oh, nice. Okay. Just don't paint the bottoms of them, Avelios. Just don't do it, and you'll be good. You'll save yourself like an hour a mini at a minimum. Solar Aux color schemes in general are pretty intense, though. Their minis are fun to paint, but yeah, they take a lot. I think whenever I have my Thousand Suns cleared out here, I think I'll get back into some of my militia, because I want to use new militia rules. They look like a lot of fun. Those are fine. Done for those. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's too bad. You do it, man. Just one color at a time. Just sit down for like an hour at a time and you're good. You'll have it done in no time. Evelios, did you see the artillery for militia? The like static artillery they get? I'm curious if you read about the weird rule that one of the guns have. Specifically the heavy quad mortar. The thud gun. Okay, so the heavy quad mortar, I think ends up being, I think it's 100 points for the thing after you pay for the gun and everything. What it does, it's 4 shots with ordnance firepower, so it goes up to 8 shots if you stand still with it. The weapon stats, it's basically like an autocannon stat, so it's like 2 damage, strength 7, AP 4, and it has like breaching 6 up, I think. It's barrage 0 and doesn't have a blast. It's the only weapon in the game with barrage and no blast. The weird thing is, the barrage rule only talks about blast weapons. It doesn't talk about non-blast weapons, so I think it says something like barrages, if you're out of line of sight, you don't make a hit roll. You just roll the scatter die, and you roll as many dice for the scatter as the number after barrage. So if it's barrage 0, it means that it doesn't scatter. Excuse me. Or you roll the scatter die with no extra inches on it. But then does it automatically hit its target? I would assume. I have no idea impulsor loadout. You give it like the. It's got like the 3 extra things, doesn't it? On it, it's you can choose like the different options. Put all 3 of them on there, and then see. 2 out of 6 to hit. 4 out of 6 miss with an arrow. No. Well, the scatters don't. No. I don't think that's. I don't think that would work at all. That to me seems like more. I would think that the intent was you rolled a hit with it, and if you miss, you miss. Okay. Barrage with a non-blast weapon. Rules as written, though, it scatters 0 inches from the point you choose. So you just hit with all 8 all the time, since there's no actual hit roll. I can't, because the new scatter dice, though, the way they do scatter is you move no matter what. Even if you roll a hit, you still move in the direction of the little arrow. So there is no like hit on the scatter dice anymore. And I think that applies for even barrage weapons. They just changed up how the scatter die works. I don't hate that idea, though. Maybe Barrage specifically does, but when I read the rules for the scatter die, it said whenever you scatter, there's like the scatter dice rule or whatever. Whenever you roll to scatter the hit, you look for the little arrow on the hit. And it goes that way. Didn't get these things yet. But if you can hit with barrage, if the hit actually works on barrage weapons, and barrage weapons will be a lot better. But I've been relatively disappointed with barrage weapons so far. But I also haven't tried using like a Cognis Signum with it or anything. There's a reasonable chance, guys, that I have these finished by the end of the week. Be nice. Their bases are already painted. Yeah, I'm not sure, Blue. I'm not sure what because I can't remember what impulsors get. I've never used an impulsor. I don't own an impulsor. I think I assembled one for Zendro once, and that was... Maybe I painted it for him? That was the most I've ever done. piece is done. My family and I watched K-pop Demon Hunters yesterday, throughout the day yesterday. It was okay. Definitely finish silver today. Okay, buddy just told me pick whatever, impulsors suck. Yeah, that sounds about right. Throw out the garbage, buy a rhino. Oh, cool. Alright. Well, that's good to know. It's good to know, Velios. Yeah, so, okay. That makes that question even more complicated then. With the, with that heavy quad mortar. No, it's fair. No, dude, we're all trying to learn, and yeah, I think in the actual like scatter dice rules it says that even if you roll a hit it still scatters or use the arrow or whatever, but I've been misremembering stuff too, so okay. That's 5 of them done. At least you have one now. It's true. That's true, Blue. I think it was funny in Space Marine 2 that they have rhinos in the game, and then they have repulsors. They don't have Land Raiders and they don't have Impulsors, but they have Rhinos and Repulsors. And Predators, right? Do they even have the Gladiators or anything in the game? Okay, it's for line of sight after you fail the hit roll on the blast. Okay. Yeah, I haven't tried it in a while either. It's probably been at least a year since I've played, or almost a year since I've played that game, because I played it. Well, it came out like September last year, right? I played it for a few weeks and just kind of put it down. I never finished my Dawn of War campaign either. The next thing to take, I think, was the spaceport. Winter Assault Allied campaign myself? Yeah. Oh, dang, yeah. You gotta suffer through like we did 20 years ago. The end of that Imperial Guard campaign is great, though. The Winter Assault campaign. Nope, you can't do that, yeah. They're still trying to put that into the definitive edition, so that's not even in the definitive edition yet. It's on the roadmap. Yeah, it is. It is. It is on the roadmap. Still not in yet. Also waiting for mods to come out. Some of the bigger mods to come out for the definitive edition. That'll be really important because I do miss playing like Unification. Just saw I had missed. Skull under there. Alright. 6 down. for this one. Number 7. No, number 8. So this is number 7. It's done. Might be able to do some dark gray. Streams over maybe half an hour or so. Try to see what we can do.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, Nismi, welcome. Come in. How are you doing? Thank you for the follow. Just hanging out, painting some pre-Heresy Thousand Suns. Putting base colors on them. A lot of work left to be done, but gotta start somewhere. Once again, I forgot a little vent thing on this guy. Just a little more silver down. Bottom done on this one. I should end up with something around 80, I think, tactical Marines by the time these Mark IIs are painted up. 50 of them are Mark 6s. I feel like I need a box of 20 Mark 3s just to really mix it up. Right now, the only Mark IIIs in my army are my command squad. Okay. Let's get didn't get the little vents. That's it. That's it on this guy. Little vents first on this last mini. Number 10 here. Good bounce. Alright, Blue. Have a good one, man. You should come and hang out. I'll see you soon. Lemons are done. Oh, nice. Okay. Sweet. Once they're done, yeah. The game I played on Sunday, Velios, I was most impressed with the Solarox rifle sections. They were awesome. Specifically the Blast Chargers, but that's also into Mechanicum, where they have a lot of multi-wound models. But they were killing like Castellax and everything, which was just fantastic. All right, that's done. It doesn't sound. It does. It is fantastic. The dirt cheap, like what, 120 point squad or something. All right, we got that. So let's move on to dark neutral gray. I also scattered a Demolisher shell onto my own Dracosan. Seems like that's tradition. Yeah, they might be better. Yeah. $120 for the Melta upgrade. Melta upgrade are you talking about? Hey, Raja, what's going on? I also got to use the fun Prospering Spireguard rule. Their advanced reaction, which is if you're forced to take a pinning check, instead you and the person who shot you take the warp rupture, like Perils of the Warp damage. And it was a Leviathan Dreadnought that was shooting me. And what was great was I put 6 wounds at AP2 onto the Dreadnought, which was hilarious, and it killed my squad. It ended up finishing off the squad, which was funny. The bad thing was my opponent passed 4 of his 6 invuln saves, so I only did actually like 2 wounds to it, so that wasn't quite as fun. Busy at work? Yeah, okay. I think I do this in 2 stages. I think I go through the bigger brush and then I go through the smaller one and get the air joint areas. Yeah, it's true. It is true. It was alright though. It was just funny. Like, thought he could kill the. I had maybe eight riflemen in the squad, and they shot at him, and it was they killed like 6 of them. I was like, oh, that's enough. Since you didn't kill them all, I could use my reaction. I could see like Masta, like what's the Ultramar cohort? I could see that being really good. The Blast Chargers are they're just great. Basic unit with the bolters only 100 points. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, they're not expensive. They're still tough though. Tough to 6 is a lot to chew through. It's something my bolters and my combi bolters and everything, but that couldn't get through. But the the rending on the las rifles were getting through it just fine. And at 2 damage each, it was really cool. Yeah, the biggest issue with an infantry horde for anybody, I think, is just being able to deploy and spread out your minis. Funo's Ultramarine, that's funny. Different specials if you pick different cohorts. The cohorts add bonus rules onto specific units. So the Ultramar cohort is like the infantry based one. And you get a bonus with your detachments, like you basically get extra detachments. Like line detachments. But the special rule for that is your infantry get to they basically every phase you get a free reaction on your infantry units, so you just get 3 extra reactions, but it's only on like infantry, like las rifle squads, so it's not like it's like really good, you know, they're like pretty tame reactions overall, but getting an extra one, that's a lot of extra reactions. The other one is the vehicle one, so like the armored cohort, your tanks, all your vehicles, I think it's all your vehicles, can move 4 inches and still count as stationary for all their weapons. So all those ordnance and heavy weapons is really good. Use for return fire in Overwatch, yeah. Or the special like Legion Auxiliary reactions are good too. Good to use for that, I think. The artillery, I think it's the siege cohort, is the artillery focused one. It's just Lehman's, and it's not the Malcadors. I thought that one was specifically all vehicles, but I thought the it's the detachment is only, your detachment's only regular Malcadors. Is it just those? I thought that was like the repairability or whatever, wasn't it? Was just those, like the vehicles from the cohort? I don't know, man. I read that book a while ago and I haven't picked it up. Yeah, there's stuff where like you can get your walkers to score even though they're actually cavalry. There's causing better pinning tests. Is it only in the specific detachment? I was kind of banking on that one to make my Infernus decent. The Infernus never gets love. But yeah, culture. There's the cohorts add bonus rules to your army, and then you can also take a Legion Auxilia which is an auxiliary that's, paired with a specific Space Marine Legion. And you can make it your main army. The only restriction is you can't pair it with a different legion from its main one if you start doing allies and stuff. But you swap out one of their advanced reactions, or one reaction with another is all that is. So you get a special reaction. And some are really good, some aren't so good. They're all pretty interesting. Yeah, a little bit like the factions of Mechanicum. Except, excuse me, Mechanicum, hate reactions. So, they don't get any fun bonus reactions or advanced reactions or anything. Oh, only heavy, not ordnance. Okay, so they count stationary when shooting heavy weapons. Still good. Only if you want to play the Myrmidex faction, which are really good anyway, so. Get the grab on the bolter here. We should finish this color. It's just white. We'll see if we got any touch-ups or things we missed, and then we can put our washes on these minis. It's the highlights. Really start taking hold. Okay, 3 of them. That's right. Symbol 15, and they're in 5s, so. Hey, on a plane. Nice. And you ready to be home? You sad to leave? You have fun? Your recruit is more complete. Take my 14 tank list. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, they're adding. They added a lot of legacy stuff with the last update. So a lot of the non-faction specific Marine Legacy stuff is in. Ready to be home. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, sleeping on an air mattress for a whole weekend, that sounds miserable. Okay, got that one. Let's get the next one. Alright, have a good one, Zen. Sure, I'll see you soon. 4 Myrmidon units, Destructors, get Conversion Beamers, Vanguard 3, sit back, yeah. Yep. Vanguard's really good on shooting units. Last one. It's hard to score though. Opponent last match Tim scored like 6 times. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot easier with shooting units, but you do have to like kill the squads. So yeah, I tried to kill a squad. It was a Ursarax unit. And I put all this stuff into the unit, and then finally shot at it with Terminators, and they didn't kill the last dude, so I didn't get to score it. Which stunk. But I don't mind that it's difficult to score because you get a lot of points out of it. And it's just like instant points that you get, so it's harder against tough units, but against units that want to be sitting on objective, just like tactical Marines, I feel like it's a lot easier. Okay, let's get a smaller brush. We're gonna get these inner joint areas, and then I think that'll be it for today. I'll start on these guys. So he spooked a squad off an objective, which made me lose Vanguard. Yeah. Like without iron. That's funny. Oh yeah, the tactical runaway. Yep. Times you gotta do it. Yeah, it's pretty brutal though. Like, not only missing out on your Vanguard, but missing out on your getting onto the objective, like wanting to charge onto it and kind of missing that opportunity. That's too bad. It's a game with like Voxes need Voxes. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm actually have Voxes on the list to paint up here. I got minis assembled with them. Yeah, communication's good. And I love that. I love that the most valuable piece of equipment you can give a squad is the radio to communicate with the higher ups like that. That seems really fitting. More so than Vexilia. Some Cognis to remove LS penalty for my barrage. Yeah, yep. It's good. Space Marines don't get much access to the Cognis Signums though. Don't you have the You reduce the barrage distance by 1 dice, right, with your command, your artillery command. But that's it. It's not not removing the. Oh, it's by ballistic skill. Okay, that's what it is. Which is good. I think that's good. I would be willing to bet that the odds are about the same. For what it does for your units. Be slightly better with the Cognis, but because you're basically at like a +1 to hit, right? With barrage weapons with the Cognis Signum. Alright. That is it for the dark gray. Our next color for tomorrow is going to be some bright neutral gray. We have the icons, maybe some face plates, a little bit on the backpack and the bolter casing. And then we move on to washes. But that's good progress on 10 dudes for 3 hours. We are going to find somebody to raid. Tech priest, an attachment unit that's going to be up front. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, Evelius, but for your faction, it'll only be +1 to hit. That's what I'm saying. Comparing the Cognis Signum for you for compared to your Tercio thing. Oh, let's see. Man, there's some people I'm not familiar with here. Yeah, we can stream Retired 11B. We'll jump in and say hi. Let's raid out, guys. +1. Yes, I know. I'm comparing the two separately. That's what I'm doing. Comparing the two separately, Evelios. I'm not. All right. Let's raid out, guys. Have a great day. I will be on tomorrow. I'm going to be on about 11 a.m. tomorrow, and we'll be. It's all right. It's all right, dude. We'll be continuing these minis. I'm going to try to paint these. Try to finish it by the end of the week. We'll see. It's a lot of highlighting to do, but we'll try to do that. But you guys have a great day. Have a wonderful afternoon. I will see you all tomorrow morning. And yeah, we'll be back with more painting every weekday this month. So that's what we'll be doing. You guys have a great day, and bye, everybody. Thank you, Fox.